Randy's Random Rant.
Felt like he was a very strong man, and she was attracted to strong men.
You know, as women, it feels sort of good to have the officer of the law to come in and say, I would like to date you.
But with Phyllis dead, and a letter confirming that she was pregnant with Officer Jones's unborn child, Ophelia had to wonder if this man was somehow involved in Phyllis's murder. Recalling the day of the crime, it certainly seemed possible.
Phyllis was driving her sister to work. She had dressed nicely and had done her hair. Her sister was asking, where are you going? You look nice tonight. And Phyllis said she was going to go meet Mr. Jones.
Chancey Jones had been on the Memphis Police Department for 3 years, and he was stationed at the RANTS Station precinct here. And among his peers, he was pretty well respected.
But when detectives take a closer look at Officer Chancey Jones, they realize that behind the shimmering facade was an officer with a closet full of secrets.
He locked a couple of Negroes up for no reason. Gave a bunch of fucking black people fucking driving citations. A big, strong man. Women, let me just inform you. Just because your man goes and passes a test and is awarded a badge and a gun and all kinds of fucking Inspector Gadget trinkets and a fucking cop car, that doesn't mean that your man is big and bad and Superman and is some fucking crime fighting hero, okay? Because that's what they do. They drive around and give people fucking tickets all fucking day and try to fucking meet a quota. If they see a fucking black guy, even if it's a black officer, they're fucking brainwashed like it's fucking Django out in this bitch, okay? They see your ass riding around in a fucking car and you're not on a fucking bicycle, these motherfuckers is pulling you over. There's nothing muscular and fucking barbaric about that shit. They need a whole fucking can of barbiturates. Not a barbarian. A barbarian didn't have a motherfucking license or a badge or a warrant or a fucking piece of paper saying that he was the fucking baddest motherfucker on the planet. Okay?
Memphis native Phyllis Malone has taken an unexpected turn when 3-year veteran police officer Chancey Jones emerges as a prime suspect.
We've had this case where a police officer answers a domestic call and then becomes romantically involved with the person who made that call.
I want you to smile now. They exchange numbers. They talk a little bit more. After a while, it goes from being friendly to becoming intimate.
And that's what else they do. They use their badge to make fucking women feel helpless, to get in their fucking drawers, drop all of their fucking defense mechanisms.
Yeah, lady, I'm a police. I like to come check you out later and, show you how I do my job.
And all he's doing is riding around, giving out driving citations. He needs to be a fucking sanitary worker.
To Chancey's personal life, they make a crucial discovery.
Chancey Jones is married, the father of 3, but he's separated from his wife at the time.
This revelation poses a third possible motive for Phyllis's murder.
Did Chancey's wife know that he was seeing another woman? With betrayal of this magnitude,
that lady don't give a fuck about him. She found out his fucking ex-wife found out
Chancey trying to silence his mistress
that he don't
his wife caught wind of the affair. It's clear detectives need to talk
that he don't do no fucking real work. He just drives around giving out fucking speeding tickets and shit.
There was nothing unusual at all. He arrived to work right on time.
He met roll call.
And claiming false accusations and sending niggas to jail. So she left his ass.
And he made 11 calls.
After Chancey's shift is over, investigators summon him back to the station for questioning.
When the detectives
Yeah,
go
summon
in
that
and
ass.
they question Chancey, he mentions that yes, he does know her. They're friends.
Phyllis and I, we had met.
Oh yeah, I was on call, on duty, and doing my job. And is your job to try and stuff your cock in people's fucking asses when you go to fucking
He admitted they exchanged numbers. The relationship became intimate.
He stressed that he and his wife had been separated for months. His wife didn't know anything about
Is that
Phyllis,
protocol
but he did tell Phyllis
when you
that he
go
was
and
married
answer a
separated.
call?
Chancey's revelation seems to exonerate his wife of any wrongdoing, but Detective Chancey's statement about Phyllis's pregnancy poses more questions than it answers. But it's not the only curious response Chancey gives.
So Chancey goes and he tells the two detectives that yes, he spoke to her the night of the murder. He waits for her at the gas station. She pulls up. They have a conversation about her being pregnant.
He just got finished telling the detectives that they don't have real sex. She only gives him head.
I don't need another one, all right?
Phyllis was concerned about
Now,
her
how do
child
you
and
women
how
feel
her
like you
child
meet
was
this
taken care
fucking
of.
big
She wants her
Bruno
child
knight
to
in
live.
armor
He said,
motherfucker
"No,
with
I'm
a
not
bulletproof
gonna do
vest
that."
on,
He said, "Why don't you get an abortion?"
a fucking
instead?"
badge,
She said, "No,
a
she wasn't
gun,
gonna do that."
and then he
Chancey
turns
admits
around
that
on
he
you
and
and
Phyllis
just
argued,
all he
but when
wants
things
is you to
started
suck
get
his
heated,
dick like
he
you're a
walked
fucking
away.
prostitute,
And he
which is a
insists
lie.
she was alive when he drove away
But this
around
big
midnight.
fucking
So I left- when I
Bruno
left, she was
super
alive.
duper Superman motherfucker, look at
In
him
a
now.
way, Chancey's story is damning.
He's sitting
It
here
places
telling
him at
you
the scene
to
of the
get
murder
rid of
just
your
before it takes
baby.
place.
Like, dude,
However,
is that
he
a
was so
real man
forthcoming with
with a
information,
fucking job and a
the police
career and
began
all of
to
that?
believe that he may be
He
telling the
meets
truth.
you, wants to
By
fucking
admitting
shove
the
his
affair
fucking
and
cock and
pregnancy,
balls in you,
Chancey could be risking
and now
his
he's
career.
ready to fucking
It's
destroy
possible
your
that he's telling
fucking
the
life.
truth. He could have just been there while some other bad guy was taking her life.
Could Officer Chancey Jones truly be an innocent man? The answer to that question will soon
Yeah,
come to
let's
light.
find out.
And when it does, it will rock the city of Memphis to its very core.
There was a
Okay.
lot of ugliness and it was absolutely dangerous. I'm going to keep this baby. This escalates into an argument.
Look, Phyllis, would you please, let's stop this right now and get rid of this baby. We can't do this, all right?
But according to Chancey, the encounter with Phyllis never escalated beyond words. And when Chancey left, Phyllis was still very much alive.
Hey, what was I supposed to do? I left, and when I left, she was alive.
Officer Jones maintained that he had nothing to do with this murder.
Detectives aren't sure whether or not their fellow officer is telling the truth.
Look,
They
3
continue to
pigs
grill
in a
Chancey,
fucking blanket.
And slowly but surely a new, far grimmer version of Chancey's story begins to take shape.
Chancey arrived at the station before Phyllis. He got there about 11:20 that night. When Phyllis finally did pull up, Chancey got out of his car, allowed her to stay inside of her car, and went to her to discuss some of the issues that they had been arguing about. The shots would have had to have gone across the passenger side to where she was. He was a mighty good shot, but he was a police officer.
Chancey tells investigators that after realizing what he had done, he panicked and hastily tried to cover his tracks.
He did leave the scene with her cell phone, and he drove all the way to the Mississippi River and threw his gun and the phone into the river.
Then he
Mississippi
goes home
River.
and acts like it never happened. He got up the next morning and went to work, and he thought it was all over.
Given Chancey's shocking confession, police have no choice but to charge Chancey Jones with murder. News of his arrest sends shockwaves
Why
to the
would you
Memphis
guys
police
do
force
that?
and the community at
He's
large.
one of you guys. He's
When
like
you
your
have to
best
worry
fucking
about
friend,
whether
ain't
the
he?
police are the good guys or the bad guys, then you got problems, and that's what we got here.
Memphis is a city that has a great deal of mistrust for the police. This stretches
Oh.
way back to the Civil Rights era and the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King.
Duh,
fact
right?
that Memphis
You guys
police
are
officer has
the
been charged
fucking
with
one of the
murder
capitals
isn't
of
even
killing
the most
niggers.
shocking revelation. That comes when investigators receive the autopsy report on Phyllis Malone.
So at the autopsy, the examiner discovered that Phyllis was absolutely, positively not pregnant.
Man, what a
We did go
fucking
through her
clown.
diary. She evidently was under the belief she was pregnant because she was journaling about whether she wanted to keep the child, not keep the child.
This raises all types of crazy questions. Did Phyllis actually keep semen in her mouth to be artificially inseminated by a doctor? Did she really think that would work? Or was she just looking for a positive father figure?
No, or did he just concoct that whole
We'll never know.
fucking
Because
story?
The only person that can answer these questions is Phyllis, and she's dead.
I don't know whether she really thought she was pregnant or not. That's sort of irrelevant. The thing with homicides, there's rarely justified killing.
It didn't say that
Just when
she
detectives think
kept
the surprises
semen in
of
her
this
mouth
case
in
have
the
got
letter.
coming,
He said that.
Chancey Jones makes a bold move.
Even after confessing to a murder, Officer Jones swears he can prove his innocence. And you know what? A lot of people believe him.
A lot of people were worried he was going to be found not guilty and that he would be able to just skate off like it was no big deal.
Once again, I have to add this in my post, okay? I am bewildered, boggled, cramming to understand. Like, we're talking about Memphis. Yo, we're talking about Mississippi. You know how many movies, fuck a movie, newspaper articles, how many stories your grandmother or people's grandparents or whoever could tell you about the freaking Ku Klux Klan killing niggas down there. And I'm talking about the worst of the worst. We had shit out here in New York, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, all over the United States. But New York, man, we put shit down. Fuck that. But Mississippi, how do y'all go from, and I'm talking about all down there, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, we could go fucking Florida, or however deep you want to go. Virginia, Ohio, for real. Wherever you are, where people talk like they fucking all got fucking Confederate flags on their fucking cars and shit. Confederate flags fucking tattooed to their fucking back and their fucking ass crack and shit. How do y'all go from getting lynched, beat, sprayed with water, locked up, bit by dogs, all of that shit, to years later, you're a cop now. Even if you're not a cop, you go from the Klan ripping your ass apart, raping your fucking kids and your grandparents and your mother and all of that, even your ass, and you want to kill black people. And then not only black people, but you got a motherfucker he had to be from Mississippi. So you hear all of the stories. You hear more stories than I've ever heard in my fucking life. And you want to go be a cop, number one. And then you end up killing a black person, number two. And it's a woman, number three. And you're a liar, conniving, like, come on. Like, it just doesn't get worse. But how do you people from down south fuck around and be killing each other after all of that shit, bro? How? Then you got cops, they locking niggas up for anything and everything, and then want to turn around, they're wife beaters, beating their fucking wife, got they fucking kids out and fucking in the garage, freezing to fucking death, abusing them and shit, shooting people, shooting women, all of that shit. Like, come on. Where does it end? You know my hashtag. You know my stamp. Somebody's booty. Oh, man. lipstick gets into jail. If you could boof crack and coke, trust me, they got lipstick in there waiting for you. But yo, I just want you to add this up. I want you to add this up. Anybody that's good at mathematics. Okay? A cop. Killer. Female. Killer. Convicted. Pig. Jail. Do you know what's gonna happen to those muffins in there? That's my tag. That's the stamp right there. You already know. Alright? Do you know how that's gonna add up in there? Anybody that knows that kind of fucking mathematics, that calculation right there, do you know what it adds up to? Huh? Oh man. We're eating lunch right now.
I'm like, she was defenseless. It was just something he was just trying to do to cover himself.
He wanted to basically make himself look like he was a victim in this situation.
When Chancey's turn on the witness
With a
stand
badge
is
and a
complete,
gun, right?
prosecutors waste no time ripping into a self-defense claim.
The evidence showed through the blood spatter that he would have had to have gotten close enough to know that these shots would kill her, as opposed to just shooting wildly. It was point blank to the head. That's not shooting blindly. That's not giving warning shots. That's not trying to keep someone from running you over.
The defense counters the prosecution's attack on Chancey by launching one of their own against the victim, Phyllis Malone.
The defense tried to paint her as a woman of low character who was just looking for love.
She was a satanic person. She had this magic trick that she turned into a werewolf, man.
She did lie about having a baby.
I really think his tact all along was that
Look
it was
at
somehow
that shit.
justified homicide.
Just look at that
because she
shit.
was bribing him and threatening to tell his family.
After more than 2 weeks of testimony, less than 2 hours later, the jury returns with its verdict. They find Chancey Jones guilty of second-degree murder.
An hour and 10 minutes. It was one of the fastest verdicts coming out of deliberation in Shelby County history. It was amazing.
When I heard the verdict, I was relieved. I had a smile on my face. I hadn't smiled through the trial. I was so hurt. But once that came about, guilty, I was smiling. So I was happy.
Well, you can smile again when you hear this. He's in there getting that ass towed up.
While it is the
You know what he gotta hear at night?
Phyllis Malone's family
Yo,
believes
Chancey!
he should have received life behind bars.
3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, they calling this nigga's name out.
I don't like that. Mr. Jones is an evil man.
Yo, Chancey, tomorrow we gonna get another chance at that ass. Yo, chance these, chance those, chance on these
I'm
balls.
sorry. And that really bothered people.
Everybody's
That you,
plotting on that
police
ass.
officer, had done this to this woman, this mother of 5.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're not even saying you're sorry?
Trust me.
People just were reviled by Chancey Jones.
Don't worry. Trust me, everybody. He's in there saying he's sorry right now.
Memory alive.
Phyllis to be remembered as a special, beautiful young lady. The last thing she said to me was, "I love you."
You know what the last thing that he's gonna be saying today is? He's saying exactly what he didn't say in that courtroom. I'm sorry.
Ow!
No, it's more like this. Listen.
Ow! I'm sorry! I'm sorry! Ow! I'm sorry!
Okay? That might not ease your pain all the way, but maybe just a little bit.